So these are the important 5 R's that you need to have as accountability on your own self. And this is the importance of you having that self-care, having that prioritization of your own mind, having this spacious time to just let it breathe sometimes. Let it just breathe on the calculating thoughts that you have throughout the whole day, right? And these 5 things are rest, resetting, restarting, refocusing, and reflowing. These are the power of the 5 R's that I feel like a lot of people don't tend to do. These important factors will automatically make a change into your life because your own self care is as almost as important as your own future, right? So the balance of resilience and importance of self growth. When you prioritize on your self care, you need to start realizing that you need to start having a balanced life. It's not about hard you work for, but rather how hard do you take care of yourself, right? It's not about how much time you put into your business, but it's also about how much time you put into yourself. All these things are gonna help you automatically when you train to achieve things so precisely, because in that time when you're in the hyperbolic time chamber, if you know the difference from Dragon Ball Z, right? When you're just relaxing and you're just really analyzing yourself in a way where, what did I do wrong there? What could I have done better? Right? I'm letting my muscle brain power rest. I'm letting my attention go into ease and not just putting tension into every single muscle that I have possibly in my body, right? So that is the balance of everything, right? So starting off with it, rest. I know everybody has rest here. Everybody has to sleep here, right? But if you're those type of people who have to sleep regarding like 7 hours or 6 hours or 5 hours, well, to be honest, 7 hours is not bad. But if you're sleeping with 6 hours, 5 hours, or 4 hours, what are you doing? You're not typically resting. You're typically just letting your body thinking that it's resting, but it's not. The accountability of time for you to actually have a fulfilled rest time is between 7 hours or 8 hours or more, right? That is the valid and much more quality time for you to take a rest. It's not about, oh, but I need to wake up at 5 a.m. I need to wake up at 6 a.m. No, bro. Okay. If that's the case, then sleep earlier, right? If that's the case, have time for your body to rest, right? Don't make it seem just because you have to wake up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever time you wake up early on, do not make an excuse that you have to put too much time into your business. Put time into your business, but make calculated moves. That is working at the law of the least effort, right? You're not just overdoing yourself, but rather you're keeping composed and keeping at ease and with the information of you resting, right? Because it is not luxury. Of course, everybody here can have rest. It is something simple, right? But we need it for connection and recharging for every attribute of ourselves, right? We need it for our mind power. We need it for our own power ourselves, for our own self-will, for our own motivation, for our own intentions, for our own energy. Our energy is the most important factor here. Without no energy, there wouldn't be no outcome. Without no energy, there wouldn't be no transfer into what we call the law of manifestation and the law of attraction, right? So moving forward, resetting, right? Just resetting at that simple prompt. Step back to realign with our purpose, right? So when you reset, you need to basically just come back into reality, come back into the present moment. You have just it's too much too much energy into this one thing, which is completely fine. You're doing what you're supposed to do, but sometimes you need to reset. A lot of people tend to just rest with their thoughts fulfilled on the things that they were doing. They tend to, follow their days throughout the time with the same thoughts over and over. Business, business, business. No. Some of those thoughts have to come to a reset. They have to come back to you. They have to come in the present moment. Okay, you know what? I have put enough time into the business. Let me enjoy my time with my girlfriend. Let me enjoy my time with my kids. Let me enjoy my time with my family, with my friends, whoever it is, right? Things like that are gonna help you provide yourself in a much more abundant life rather than you just being robotically just focusing on one thing and another, right? Which is that thing that has been taking your attention away. It is completely fine though. It is completely fine if you do that. That just means that you're locked in. But what I mean is that there should be balance in your life. There should be time for everything, right? There should be time for exactly the same priorities that are gonna, build up over the future, right? And that is why we need to reset, because those ideas of shedding the old patterns, which was the things that's taking your full attention now gives you into new patterns, right? Boom, I'm back in the circle. I'm now realizing more things in the outside. I do realize I have a family. I do realize I have my own life. I do realize that this is my world, right? And I can emphasize on me doing other stuff, right? So please focus on you resetting. Focus on these things that are gonna make you step back from your version of you locking in and just resetting. It's okay. You're not missing no time. You're not missing anything. It's okay. Just chill and relax and give your thoughts a little of ease. There's too much tension there. Too much overdrained muscles having to be just compatible just enough with the power of you trying to achieve something so hard, right? You're doing something good, man, but resetting is more important, right? So now, restarting. Have the courage to start over. A lot of people don't tend to restart because they don't want to fail. They don't want to tend to fail. Just because you restart, it does not mean that you're going to fail. It just means that you're stepping back. You're just restarting again. Don't you ever play a video game and then automatically you do a mistake right off then and then you automatically want to restart? That is what it's called. Restarting. You're doing everything again, but now since you know what's coming, since you have calculated everything, you have analyzed a better way for you to actually have a better outcome. Have a better action towards that challenge, towards that phase that you're currently in, right? So restarting, right? It doesn't mean failure, but rather for educated evolution. Educated evolution. What that means is that now you have educated yourself and this thing that you wanted to restart on. Okay, first mistake, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. Perfect. I come back and I try to do it again. Boom. Simple as it is. What you did right there, you just restarted and you put your thoughts now into yourself rather than the business. A lot of people tend to keep going over and over and over, but they don't want to step back. They don't want to they don't want to take that opportunity. They don't want to take that chance of their times, of their loving time to just step back and realize on one thing simply, and one thing where they can do better, or one thing they can seek information from and make it much more easier, right? You need to restart. Restarting is a prompt for you to basically just have a step back. I feel like a lot of people tend to make it seem like, oh, I'm like, nah, bro, I don't want to fail. Oh, nah, bro, why would I restart? I'm already doing it, right? They want to have this concept of themselves trying to overachieve something so fast. No, bro, it takes time. It takes time. Restart, do it again, and actually overcome that problem, but now with much more received information, right? So moving on is refocusing. This is kind of connecting now into the restart prompt, right? Now, since you are refocused, you need to emphasize on the clarity of the purpose, right? Now, emphasizing on the clarity is basically you now focusing on yourself in the present moment. What have I achieved? How much have I progressed? How much have I emphasized myself on my self-image or my self-identity, right? And the fulfilled purpose that you have in front of you, this is something that I'm going to surely complete. And automatically having this positive outcome no matter what. That is refocusing now into the positive thoughts rather than the negative thoughts. A lot of people tend to make it harder for themselves just because they're restarting something. Oh my gosh, now I gotta do this again. Oh my gosh, now I gotta fix this again. No, bro. Now you're much more composed and much more eased and much more calm. What makes that problem much more better simple for you, right? Just because you step back does not mean just because you do it again, you're going to fail again, bro. No. If you do your research and if you receive information and that enough knowledge to overcome that, you automatically go through it no matter what, right? So Refocusing is basically you just emphasizing on the things that's in front of you and having a simple challenge to overcome it, right? So now, the most important are, and this is coming from reflowing, sync with the universe flow and rhythm, right? So now, since you're back in the flow, you're syncing with the natural powers of the universe. You're moving in sync with what's supposed to come to you, right? You're so in the moment that no matter what's going on in your environment, no matter what's going on, rather than what you're focusing on, basically you're becoming this person who's training his whole focus on what's supposed to be needed. This is when the mind is actually connected with the unconscious mind and knows what it's supposed to do, which is focus on this linear line and just keep walking through it no matter what. Achieving all these benefits and embracing on the flow, embracing on the movement, embracing on every action, on every thought, on every intention. What all I'm trying to say is that you're just in character, full in motion on the right track, right? Don't you ever feel like sometimes when you're just focusing on something and you just, you just keep doing it and you're just receiving all these benefits. You're just thinking to yourself like, wow, this is actually working, This is actually like meant for me. This is something that I'm realizing on who I can become, right? It becomes so natural. Like, it becomes a thing where it's as natural of you drinking water. It's as natural of you going to the restroom. It's as natural for you waking up, right? It's as natural for you to just wink, 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 like naturally, right? All these things are meant for you, right? But you just need to learn how to adjust your mind into it at the right time. Your mind is your own temple. You don't want to have an unstructured temple to do something that's supposed to be structured, right? You have the right plan, you have the right organizations, you have the right motives, the right actions, but if your mind is really unstructured, meaning that it's not focusing on the right things, it's focusing on distractions, it's focusing on the negative thoughts, this is the false prompt, focusing on the negative thoughts. You're already walking yourself into failure. Automatically, I'm telling you right now, if your mind is focusing on dumb shit or dumb things that don't even align with what you're supposed to do, you're gonna automatically fail. This is 100% true, right? If you're moving in, if your inventory is filled with a lot of distractions and barely having enough courage, having enough information to go towards your purpose, you're automatically gonna fail. You're going to go to a different journey. You're going to go to a different timeline, which is not going to be basically benefiting your higher self or your usual self, right? That is why it's so important for you to be in the flow state. Be in that flow of you putting 100% attention into what you're doing. No matter what, man. No matter what. So practice reflowing and just sync with the universe flow and just encourage trust in the journey, man. Trust in the journey no matter what. I always love to say this. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, and if you absolutely love it, there's no way you're going to fail. I'm telling you right now, there's no way you're ever going to fail. I'm telling you that right now. Right? So also moving on, patience is power. Be quiet and just wait and allow everything to come. Right? A lot of people tend to talk themselves out of the way to success. A lot of people put themselves in a situation that's not going to put them in the right track. And I want to say this briefly and true. If you're doing that, that just means that you're not ready. That just means that your mind is not ready to evolve, right? When you're having excuses, when you're having different methods of you moving away from your purpose, it is because your mind is thinking about something else. It's thinking about things that are not gonna contribute to yourself. It's thinking about things that you have adjusted in your own mind that is right, or it's good, or it's something purposeful, which is completely wrong. It's not. It's not. I'm telling you right now, your mind is unstructured. Your own temple is unstructured. Fix it right. Adjust what you're supposed to be focused and write it down in the paper. Ask yourself these questions. Say yourself this. This is not important for me. This distraction is not important for me. Why am I doing this habit? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? I don't care if you're addicted, bro. I don't care if you're addicted. I have gone over addictions as well. I have gotten over addictions as well with no problem at all. And all it took is just me switching my attention span into things that actually matter, right? So moving on into the last prompt is that trying it out together. None of this matters. None of this educational knowledge, none of these prompts of the power of the 5 R's are not gonna matter if you're not trying it out together. Connect all these elements and life simply should show you your true self. It's gonna show you your true self if you start implementing every single one of these 5 prompts of the power of the R's, man. But yeah, I leave it up to that, man. It's been Fredo Saga. Live your own truth to create your own saga. I just leave the dimension expansion with some new game and just implement it into the real world, man. Like I always leave it up to it. Follow my socials. This is the only way for y'all to contact me. I do one-on-ones and I do coaching sessions for y'all to give you advice and put you in a better situation. And actually check my link in my bio, check my link tree, and check my other social platforms, man. But yeah, I leave it up to that, brothers, and much love.